their defense is not, especially against a team like us. And we know this. We know that for our offense to get clicking, we got to get them the ball, and we can't, let them. Which I know, I know George and I know Charlie. I mean, it's going to be, they're trying to stay with their progression. Now, don't get me wrong, they're very capable of taking their shots and scoring quick, but they're very methodical and they're very good at what they do. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's regardless, it will never change. He's an outstanding football coach, as is George. Knowing these guys, it's always funner. And they're guys that are not only good coaches, they're really good people, which makes it great. I've done this forever, John, 35 years, and Charlie and I and really George, we all sort of grew up in this together. I told Brown after our game, I said, it just seems like yesterday. I was a 30-year-old coordinator at Iowa State, and he was the coordinator at OU, and and you look up, and we're both, he's 61, I'm 58, and we're on the backside. It's that obviously is has touched a lot of us. Mac Brown's an excellent guy and an excellent coach, and very few of us ever get to go out the way we want to, and I think when you look at his accomplishments at Texas, wow, I mean he's a Hall of Famer without question. Yeah, I will say this, and I'm not. I told the kids I believe that we have a better game in us. I think we played well, but I believe I have to believe that. I mean, you've got to do it, and one of the things that I think is unique about this game, you've got a pretty much probable first-round draft pick at quarterback. So what a challenge. I mean, and you look at the two running backs, I think they're going to be Sundays. And so you've got a challenge to do that. And as you know, I'm not a big talker. I don't make predictions, but the challenge for us is in front of us. Right. Yes, I think that's a good question. I think you go out there and if confusion causes a lot of problems. And I say this, I'm definitely old school. I feel like that if you know what you're doing, then you're going to be able to excel. We have a thing in every meeting room. It says simply, knowledge is power. And the truth of the matter, it's not how much I know, it's how much I get these guys to know and execute. And I think that's a very good point. I think if you go out and recreate your blitz package or you do this or that, then you're not going to be as effective as you've been. But you always tweak things. That doesn't mean you abort everything you've done and have a month to practice. So. You know what? You have to really. I'll come in there, but that's something about having a great group of assistants that you trust. I have a saying: the eyes don't lie. When I come in, I said, like this morning, I came in, I had this deal. I said, what about this? Nobody. All of a sudden, the eyes looked up, and Jim Gush is like, hey, don't go there. Enough's enough. So I said, all right, you don't like it. He didn't even have to say anything, but. You're right. I mean, you've got to maximize your ability by minimizing what you do.
They're there for me as much as they can, and it's just like a unconditionally love, like a father-son love. So it's been a blessing to play for them, and I thank them for giving me the opportunity to come out here and play for them. And this bowl game, I'm just gonna leave it all out for them. Man, I'm still not trying to think about it as being my last, but like they say, good things don't last forever, and it's always an extra step after this one. So it feels like so surreal that 3 years have just passed like that, But like they say, time flies, and you just gotta live in the moment, So for these last few practices, I'm just gonna take it all in, and for game day, I'm just gonna erupt and leave it all out there. Thank you.
when you're a young little kid, and it's really a blessing to be here, and I think we're all just kind of thriving on it and just staying focused on what the task is at hand, and we really just got to be able to play our football and just not get caught up in what's going on, and it's just it's an incredible experience, and we're really just having a lot of fun being here.
Can you talk about the matchup with UCF, different style of offense?
Yeah, they like to slow the ball down a little bit. They both they have two good, very good players. They're quarterback and the running back. We have to be able to stop them, and we just got to be able to come out and, like I said, just play Baylor football. And we can't get caught up in what's going on. And just as long as we execute our game plan, we'll be good. And we just got to make the plays that we're supposed to make.
I won't let you repeat yourself anymore.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
I mean, I'm emotional. I'm a guy. I'm hands on. What you see is what you get, and I can be rough, and I tell him what I think. He does the same thing. But the one thing, if you ever notice my play, I let him express himself. I don't, and I always tell him. One time he said something to me. He called me. He goes, "Coach, I'm sorry," and I never thought anything about it. I said, "Ahmad, that's okay. That's just when I get on you hard, I'm gonna let you say some things." But I think this, and I believe this is sort of my motto in coaching. It goes back. You've heard me say this from Tom Landry. Good coaches, get players to do what they don't want to do to get where they want to get. And one of the things I wanted out of him, I wanted to get him more focused. I wanted to get him more disciplined, in what he was doing every play. And then regardless, when you play in this league, in the secondary, you got to forget the last play, whether it was good, bad, or indifferent. And you've got to refocus, and everything is fast. And he has come through this year light years from where he started out.
You mentioned talking about before we got set up, but I just wanted to ask you about UCF and obviously the type of offense they run. Talking to Charlie, kind of more slowed down, obviously than
Right.
Baylor runs. But what did you just see from them in their quarterback play?
Well, I mean, I said this earlier. He makes everybody on the team better. Charlie does a great job with him. The one thing about coaching is taking your cowbell or bell cow, whatever you call that, and using him the right way. I mean, he makes the receivers better. He makes the running backs better. Makes the line better. He extends plays, makes a bad play a good one, and a good one a great one. And you've got to limit those. If you're going to beat them, you got to limit those. The other thing we've got to do is we've got to take advantage of getting the ball to our offense. I mean, they're a rhythm, precision offense now that are capable of making big plays, but you have to be able to get them out of rhythm.
Have you been focusing? Speaking of rhythm, they're really good third down. They're one of the best in the country
Yes,
on third down.
yes. Well, part of that reason is it's usually third and short. There's not many third and longs for them. So that's staying it. What we call staying ahead of the chains.
That's a key. I mean, third down.
It doesn't change. If you remember our Texas game, one of the things I was truly proud of was the fact I think they were 2 of 17. You're going to win a lot of games when people are 2 and 17 on third down against you. Okay. I think that I'm impressed with their line. I think they're tough.
Incredible one. And he's done an amazing job, Coach Bennett. And we've just really matured, and we've been playing a really great season. And we just got to keep that momentum going into this bowl game.
The injury to Bryce, you kind of had to step in more of a leadership role in the linebacker. How much has that been for you?
It's been huge. I mean, the whole season, the whole from last year into this year, I think our coaches just really prepared me and prepared the other linebackers around me, and I think that's what made it a little bit easier. Is the preparation from our coaches has just been tremendous, and they've really been able to put us in great positions, and they make it easy for us to lead on this defense. Oh, I love it. It's great weather. I'm from California, so this is more like California weather, and it's just it's fun to be out here. That's it. All right. I almost didn't even think you had me on there.
At the end of the year, who they wanted to play on defense, we wouldn't been on anybody's list. But the numbers didn't. We didn't do enough regrouping to get it. I think that our kids have grown up. That without question. The experience factor. I thought from Kansas on last year, we became a defense that I thought we were reaching what we wanted to be. And obviously what we want to be is great on third down, great red zone. In our league, you're going to give up some points, but you got to make people kick field goals instead of score touchdowns in the. I think we were top 10 in the nation with the fewest first downs. We were in top 15 on third down. We're very high in takeaways and in sacks. So we have made improvement, and I think two things: experience and the fact that we're playing more people. Our depth is better than it's ever been.
That's something that we didn't adjust to in the beginning of our years, and that's why we wasn't here yet. But man, he's a great coach, one of the best coaches I've had. And once you really settle in and do what he wants you to do, everything just start clicking. Because it's like like a rope. Everybody has to pull. So if one person pull this way, the other one got to pull too. We can't leave nobody out, and we got it now. We know the defense front was and backwards, so. That's something that make us play faster because we know what he want to do, and that's what we do.
Was that confidence? I mean, because at points last year, and it didn't look like you guys had that confidence.
Yeah.
Is that the biggest difference this year?
Yeah, I would say that's a big difference. Just not knowing what to do always, and just going out there just using our athletic ability. Therefore, now we know exactly what we got to do and how he wanted it, and when we do it, he's going to put us in the place to make the plays. And there's something that he always say. This game here is about players, and it's a players' game, so you got to go out there and make plays, and that's what we did this year.
Blake Bortles, one of the better quarterbacks in the country. Their quarterback, I know you've seen some film on him now, but what have you seen from the overall UCF offense that's going to be tough?
What'll be tough from UCF offense? They're explosive. They're balanced offense, and there's something different from the Big 12. The Big 12 is all about spread. They want to tempo you. They're a type of team that want to, try to get 5 yards here, 5 yards here, touchdown. So they want to use all the time off the clock and just try to get as many points as they can.
You got to do Sick and Trivia too. It has made its way.
Okay.
It has made its way to Phoenix. So
okay.
Here's this week's question. Obviously, you're playing the University of Central Florida. They've made a conference switch of late. Do you know which conference UCF now resides in?
Can I have an A, B, C?
Sure. The A is ACC.
Nope.
B is the American Athletic Conference. C is the Big East. And D is Conference USA.
I got it. Conference USA.
It used to be Conference USA.
It's B. It's B. I knew it. Oh, man. Man, I knew that one. I knew it.
That's all good.
Yeah.
Thanks for the time, KJ.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
Incredible thing, and we're really excited about it, and we're excited to be a contributor to this team and to this university now.
Eddie, what would it mean to you to win this game, cap off your senior year?
It would mean the world to me. I would love to go out on top, winning a BCS bowl game. That sounds so amazing, and just to go on in life saying, I went out the way I did to win the Fiesta Bowl, against UCF. It would just mean, just the world to me to be able to, go in there and win this game.
Coming from junior college, everything that Baylor's accomplished, especially this year, I mean, is this exactly the way you hoped it would happen?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit different than junior college.
Yeah.
It's a new stage, it's a different atmosphere, and you got to carry yourself a different way. You got to be able to, just control these type of situations maturely, and be able to, focus on the task at hand, and just not get caught up in what's going on. And I think it's just the next chapter for us as a university, and it's a blessing to be here, and we're all really excited to play on January 1st.
How confident do you think this team is right now?
I think we're really confident. I think that's a good thing too. We're just we're confident, but we're not cocky about it. We have I think we have a little bit of a swagger to us, but we're really just a overall a team-oriented type team. We're really surrounded by great people and great coaches, and I think that's what rubs off on us, is just that we have phenomenal coaches, and we're able to represent them and represent our university just the way that they want us to.
You mentioned West Virginia last year. From that point to where you are now, what are the biggest things that make this defense so much better?
I've said it from the beginning. I think it's just the maturity of our defense and the growth of the Bennett system, and we've really turned it around from just the little mistake. Everything that could have went wrong in that West Virginia game went wrong, and and that's from fundamentals, mental errors to all those little things. And I think when you can get a team that will buy into his system and buy into just any type of system, it really just speaks volumes of how far a program or just a defense can come. And I think that's just what we've done, and you can see the maturity from us and the seniors down to the youngest guys coming in as freshmen.
So you had the one blip against Oklahoma State. What did you take from that you could apply to the last couple games before you got here? What
We
do you think happened against Oklahoma State?
Yeah, I think we got caught up too much in just what was going on, and I think we just got to be able to focus on us and focus on Baylor football, and just treat it just like any other game prior to that. And in these last two games we finished out really well, and as long as we can keep that mentality and keep the focus, we can really just we can hone in on what they're doing, and execute our game plan really well.
You got caught up in the magnitude of what was going on in that game, you think?
I think just our game plan, just to from understanding what was going on. I think we really just needed to be a little bit more knowledgeable, just out there on the field, and just that's us on the players, and we just we needed to be a little bit more conscious of what's going on, I think, and just be focused at all times, and we can't relax at all with these guys. They're going to be a good team. They're in the Fiesta Bowl for a reason, and we're going to be ready to play come Wednesday. Yeah, no problem. Oh yeah, how about you? Nice to see you.
Excuse me? He's ready. He'll be a better, and I say this, he'll be a better NFL player than he was in college. The NFL is played more in the tackle. It's not a spread game as much as college, and not that he was, and you saw how well he played in college. I just think he's a guy, big hitter, fast, physical, understands. I mean, his knowledge has grown by leaps and bounds. I mean, he really has matured as a football player. Oh. Well, I'm going to tell you something. He can cover wideouts. Yeah, I mean, we have packages that he plays. He covers the slot man to man. I mean, what a deal for a guy 210 pounds that can get on a 5'10", 4-3 slot. Yeah, I mean, Chase tomorrow. If you followed us at all, and one of his biggest hits all year was, he literally will lower the boom on him. He's a guy that he can run, he hits, and when he gets there, he's in a bad mood. All right. Okay.
Um, Happiness. I mean, it was a great time. Just we've worked so hard. All the different types of lifts, conditioning workouts, different practices that we've gone through, spring practices. It all led to this, and it's just really gratifying to have heard the news of being able to come and play in this big BCS bowl game.
You're a senior this year, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
This is your last,
Mhm.
last one.
Yeah, this is my last time around. It's gonna be crazy suiting up in a Baylor uniform one more time, and I'm not gonna be thinking about that too much. I'm gonna be thinking more about what's going on. I think I'm gonna have a lot more going through my head during the game, but it's a wild thing to think that this is gonna be my last game playing as a Baylor Bear.
Little bittersweet.
Yeah, it's a little bittersweet. I mean, it's definitely it's been a blessing to be here at Baylor University. Yep.
Yeah.
I said they know, they see it, and you go through adversity like we went through in that West Virginia, Iowa State, TCU, Texas 4-game span, and there was never, I mean never, any finger pointing or bad mouth. I mean, I never once had to raise my voice about any disruption about how we're doing. It was a we thing, and I knew then. I knew it was just a matter of time, and I told you that week it will happen sooner than later.
And I mean, really, since then, I mean, you guys have been on a roll. I mean, is it as confident a group as you've had?
Yes.
I mean, you had some great K-State defenses, A&M, and LSU, places like that.
No question. These guys have come and done as well as any group I've ever coached. Now, I wouldn't sit there and say by numbers that we're dominant, but in this league, I had a guy tell me, wanted to hire me after my first year. He goes, "Here's the deal: you're never going to get the stats that you're used to having in your career at Baylor. With Art's offense and this league, and I'm gonna call him." Not that but I mean, if you look at our every statistical thing, I doubt there's a defense out there that has as many things done as we did this year.
What did you have to do as a coach to get used to this offense? Not the one you have with Baylor, but just because of the way the game's played now.
Well, you got to play more people. I mean, the thing that what has always intrigued me about Art is his ability to move the ball and score. I mean, he is a guy that he has no ego. He doesn't care whether it's run, pass. I can remember vividly walking off the field. We're walking off the field at the Holiday Bowl, and we're extremely happy, but he looks at me, he goes, "Hey, Phil, we only threw the ball like 12 times." He didn't care. I mean, you get some people, and they would say, "That's my MO." Well, his MO is one thing. It's winning. And I knew coming in, I thought, I told him this. I didn't know if I would take the job when he came down to Birmingham. I was sort of visiting, and I told my wife when it was over, I said, "I think we could be a good team because I think Art, I know they're going to," and she knew it. She goes, "They're going to score." But I never knew they'd score that fast, And we're gonna play a lot of plays on defense, and to do that, probably my biggest adjustment getting in is when you do that, score that fast, or a 3 and out, it's gonna be fast. Is you got to play more people. You got to play more people, and we're gonna play 75 80 plays a game. That's just the way it's going to be. Whether we win by 70 or whether it's a close game, we're going to play a lot of plays.
After the Texas game, you guys had a big embrace for a second because you celebrated a championship.
Yeah.
What was that moment like?
You know, it was. I'm trying to describe a word. It was very validating. When we got together, this is what we talked about. Win a Big 12 championship. We want to win a championship together, and we have a common denominator. Lives have sort of traveled a path together. We always laugh. He always says, "You were in East Texas, I were in West Texas, and we had to go to Central Texas to hook up." But I've always had tremendous respect. First of all, what kind of man he is. I knew it from the get-go. I mean, every since I've known him, I've just enjoyed him. Take coaching out of it. He is a good man. And I just think when we got together, that moment, after that game, I was proud for him. I was proud for me. I was proud for us. And I was proud for Baylor and these kids. And I just thought it was neat.
When the extension was signed, he took care of all the guys.
Yes.
Everybody up and down. Some head coaches don't do that.
No.
What did that mean to the staff?
He's a giver. He's not a taker. I mean, that's what he does, and that's the thing that makes him unique. It's not about him. I don't ever watch many things, but I watched his ESPN deal, and I had to leave the room. I was bawling. When they asked him about what would his mom and dad, and it's him. He said, "Be humble, praise others," and I think you've done you've done a good job. I mean, that's who he is.
But you guys have gotten, there's a similarity there as well.
Yes.
Because of what you had to deal with your wife.
Right.
Watching how he handled his brother's loss and then watching that, can you describe it?
He's a guy that some people say, well, he doesn't hide his emotions. I mean, I can remember the TCU game. He was hurting. I mean, and the players hurt for him. That was one. People ask me, was it the Oklahoma game? Was it? Our biggest game of the year was TCU. I mean, because the Texas game would not have been relevant. And the week that we went through, our players hurt for Art because that's how they feel about him. And it was an emotional deal. And but he never thinks about himself.
There's always coaching speculation. What does it say that other NFL teams, and even UT, speculation that Baylor's staff and Coach Prowse would be good for them?
It's a compliment. The job that he's done here, I mean, you could look at anybody in the country. If they didn't, I laugh about this. I did not know this. Baylor had the fewest Big 12 wins in the history of the Big 12. And win the Big 12 in the manner that we have won it in the last 3 years, 10, 8, 12 hopefully, it says a lot about two things. It says a lot about Art, and it says a lot about the people that he brings with him.
Were there times in your relationship with Ahmad that maybe you thought this wouldn't work?
No, never. No, I knew him. I know his heart. I knew that, and I'm too egotistical. And a kid I can't coach, and I just knew his spirit was. And one thing I didn't want to do, I never wanted to break his spirit. I just wanted him to get more focused, more determined, and I wanted him to mature to a level, which he has, that he could do anything he wants to do. I mean, sky's the limit for Ahmad.
On that maturity part, when you go back to where he was when you first came in until now, I mean, where have you seen him grow as a man?
He's a grown man. I mean, I watch him practice now, and as I said, I mean, his spirit is what makes him, and he's a guy that he's infectious. It goes on to everybody. I mean, it goes on to me. Now, it's like love, like your wife. You can get mad at her, but when it's all said and done, that's where you're sleeping tonight.
He said y'all had an exit meeting, and he said he like teared up when he was leaving, that he appreciated everything you did for him.
Yeah, well, and I told him, I said, hey, I know you thought I was hard on you at times. I said, but, I will be your biggest ally. I will, and I don't like the word tough love, but I tell the kids, I will coach you hard, but I'll love you harder. Just give us what you got. And I say this again. I said part of growing up is maturing into being not just a football player.
Baylor
Okay.
defense press conference.